Welcome back to Lost Odyssey. So, like I said, well, today we're going to do the final dream that's available here, as well as progress the main story. So, and explaining the longevity of this particular part. Because the dream that we're about to see is not really enough to fill a whole part, so...
Gotta dream faster.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Dubs, you can beat this little girl, go ahead.
Hey! Hey, wait up! Huh? You're not my brother.
You look exactly the same from the back.
I'm sorry,
sorry.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, my sister must have caused some trouble for you. Look, you're gonna get lost if you keep that up. I told you to wait while I get you the balloon, didn't I? Oh, it's one of those balloon quests from Spider-Man 2, okay.
Oh.
Well, remember, Joe, but the first game did that as well. So...
I remember.
First Spider-Man game?
Remember, our first bit of training is blowing up a balloon with our web. So
this reminds me of a horrible memory I had with a balloon.
So today's dream is, don't forget me now. You hear?
I was talking about rescuing balloons for kids.
Brother dear. I have to be, trust me on this one. The cry comes from behind as he waits for the dance crowds. At first, Kaim does not realize that the person is addressing him, and he walks in on search of looking for the knight. But the cry comes again, all buckling to him. Brother dear, big brother. This is puzzling. He last visited the town 80 years ago. There can't be anyone here who knows him.
Are you sure?
Wait, big brother, don't go. His puzzlement begins to take on an eerie edge, for the voice addressing him as Big Brother can only belong to an old woman. Without letting his guard down, he turns slowly. Just as he thought. It is an old woman. Dressed in the
Are we that typecast? That Pedro really voices every old woman? God damn.
Fine, you want to voice this one then? Go ahead.
Sure.
Dressed in the young girl, the only one is looking straight at Kaim with a bright smile on her face. Go ahead.
I think you may have the wrong person.
He says, allowing his discomfort to show.
No, I don't.
That's okay.
What's wrong, Kaim? Did you forget me?
Well, I mean...
He can't place her. Even if he were to succeed in doing so, he knows he has no acquaintances in this town. He wonders, could this be a chance re-encounter with someone he once met on the road? But no, he is sure he doesn't recognize her. And strangest of all, why should this woman who looks old enough to be his grandmother address him as Big Brother? Well, to be fair, Kaim...
This probably isn't even memory issues. Like, let's be honest, in real life, you'd probably have trouble recognizing somebody you hadn't met in, like, 5 years, let alone 80. Don't pretend you don't know who I am, Kaim. You're so mean.
She yells at him loudly enough that people in the crowd stop and stare at them. It is not the fact that she is shouting, of course. People always have to shout to be heard in these crowded streets. That alone would not attract attention. The old woman's voice is different from a normal adult yell. It is like the innocent, unrestrained cry of a little girl who throws her whole body into the scream. People turn shocked expressions on the old woman and quickly avert their eyes. Their dismay is understandable. The old woman has her stark white hair tied up with a colorful ribbon, and her dress has the same floral pattern and floppy sleeves as the little girl's. Many of the passerbys look at the old woman with a mix of sympathy and pity on their faces. Gradually, Kaim begins to comprehend the situation. This old woman has simply lived too long. This is why the past, locked away in her memory, has become realer to her than the reality before her eyes.
Alzheimer's.
A middle-aged passerby tugs on Kaim's elbow. If I were you, I would just walk away. I'm getting hold of her. She'll be nothing but trouble. It's true.
It's true.
Sorry, go ahead. Says the wife by his side, nodding.
You're a stranger here, so you don't know, but this old woman is senile. You can ignore her. She'll forget everything in 5 minutes.
They may be right, but the fact that this old woman knows Kaim's name. In the little part of her mind, she thinks that Kaim has her quote-unquote big brother.
Oni-chan.
Oni-chan, yes. That's probably what she says in the Japanese script, probably. He tries probing his distant memories. He spent no more than a few days here so long ago. He got to know very few people, and there can't be any of those left who still remember him. When Kaim goes on standing before the old woman, the nosy middle-aged couple become indignant. You try to be helpful, and what does it get to you? Snorts the husband. Go ahead, Jova.
Let them work it out themselves.
Adds the wife,
Let's just go.
which they proceed to do. Winding up her voice for maximum shrillness, the old woman calls out to them as they walk up. Don't forget me now. You hear? Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
Don't forget me now. You hear?
In that instant, Kaim's memory makes the connection.
It's a forget-me-not.
The old woman greets his look of recognition with an expression of joy.
You remember me now?
She cries.
I'm Shoo-Shoo. It's me, Shoo-Shoo.
He does remember her, a little girl he met in this town 80 years ago, perhaps 5 or 6 years old at the time. She was a precocious little thing whose lack of shyness with strangers came from her being the daughter of an innkeeper. Somewhere along the way, she had probably picked up a phrase she heard someone using, and so whenever a guest would depart after a number of days at the inn, instead of the standard goodbye or thank you, she would see the person off with a smile and cheery, "Don't forget me now, you hear." That's the name of the dream. Only now, when he is suddenly able to see the girl beneath the wrinkles, Kaim must avert his gaze from the old woman's face.
What's wrong, big brother?
He cannot bring himself to look directly at Shushu's vacant stare. 80 years have gone by. What can they talk about when a man who never ages meets a little girl from the distant past who has aged too much?
The future?
Well, she doesn't have much of a future at this point, does she?
Yeah, but she can look to a brighter tomorrow nonetheless.
Let me through here, please. Sorry, let me through, please. Forcing her for the crowd, a young man rushes up to where Shushu and Kaim are standing. Great-grandmother! How often do I have to ask you for not to go out without telling me? After scolding the old woman, he turns to Kaim with an apologetic bow. I'm terribly sorry if she's been a bother to you. She's old and getting senile. I hope you can forgive her.
Oh, the irony.
Shushu herself, however, angrily purses her lips and demands to know.
What are you talking about? I'm just playing with Big Brother Kaim. What's wrong with that?
She peers at the young man and asks.
Who are you?
The young man turns a sad gaze on Kaim and begins to apologize again. With a pained smile, Kaim stops him. Kaim knows that at times it can be sadder and more heartbreaking for a life to be prolonged than to be cut short. Sad and heartbreaking though a life may be, however, no one has the right to trample on it, obviously.
Interesting. So she can't even remember her own great-grandson, but she remembers Kaim.
I can explain you later, Jova.
She just can't seem to get it through her head that she's old. Even if I hold a mirror up to her, she asks, who's that old lady? The young man, whose name is Kash, further explains the situation to Kaim. She might forget that she ate breakfast, but her memories from childhood can be clear as a bell.
Okay, basically that's that,
there
Jova.
we go. Yeah.
Kaim nods in silent understanding. Kash and Kaim sit on a bench in the town plaza, watching Shushu pick flowers. She is apparently making a floral wreath for her long-lost Oni-chan.
I get this. I've seen and heard of this condition before.
But really, sir, do you have time for this? Weren't you in a hurry to get somewhere?
No, I'm fine. Don't worry.
Thanks very much. He smiles for the first time and says, I haven't seen her this happy in ages. The young man seems convinced that his great-grandmother has encountered in Kaim a person who resembles someone she knew as a child. Kaim allows this. He knows that Kash cannot and need not imagine the existence of a person who never ages.
What fun that must be.
Her health has really deteriorated lately. Whenever she runs a fever, we wonder if this is going to be the end for her and we prepare for the worst. But then she springs right back. Sometimes we joke that her mind is so far gone she's forgotten to die. Kaim sees the young man in profile. Kash has a gentle smile on his face as he speaks of his great-grandmother. No doubt when he was little, she used to hold him and play with him. Grown up now, Kash watches over his great-grandmother like a parent watching his own child. He calls out to her, That's nice, great-grandmother. I haven't seen you with flowers together like that for a long time.
I forget if I've asked this before, but do any of these dreams ever intersect with one another?
No. Squatting in the grass of festival flowers, Shushu answers.
That's not true. I made a wreath for him yesterday.
Then she says to Kaim,
Isn't that right, big brother? You wore it in your hair for me, didn't you?
Kaim cups his hands around his mouth and calls back to her.
I certainly did. It smelled so nice.
Shushu's face becomes a mass of joy. Blah, blah, blah. Kaim asks Kash,
Are you the one who takes care of her?
Uh-huh. Me and my wife, Cynthia.
How about your parents? Or even your grandparents? Are they still living?
Based on the change of background, probably not. Kosh shrugs and says, I'm the only other member of my family left alive. Yep, there you go. As you can tell by the switch to a dark background. His grandparents both died in an epidemic 20 years ago. His father lost his life in the war that enveloped this area 10 years ago. His mother, Shushu's granddaughter, aged more rapidly than her own mother, and the lamp of her life was snuffed out 5 years ago.
Damn, that's some bad luck. So Shushu literally outlived 2 generations.
It happens sometimes. That's what the
Have you
point. The
ever
whole point of the
played,
story that the game is trying to put.
Have
That
you
some.
ever
Sorry, go on.
I'll mention after this.
So my great-grandmother has yet to keep holding funerals over the years for her children and grandchildren. Before we noticed, she had become the oldest person in town. He must be lonely living that way.
I'm sure.
Oh, he is, answers Kaim. It might even be a kindness of the gods to let people fade out mentally when they've lived too long. At least that's how I've come to see it lately. You would think she would feel lonely to be left behind that way, but she's not lonely at all. To live long means you have a lot of memories. Maybe it's not such a bad thing to live in the world of your memories during the last days of your life.
Interesting.
My
Sort of a parallel to...
my paternal grandmother died in recent years from Alzheimer's, so I know exactly what this is. Shushu stands up, her arms filled with flowers.
Big brother Kaim, I'm going to make a flowery for you right now, and if I have any flowers left over, I'll make one for this other person too.
Kaim and Kosh look at each other with bewildered smiles.
Why are you smiling like that?
Shushu asks.
Are you two friends now?
She opens her wrinkle-ringed eyes wide in surprise, gives the two men a joyful smile.
Also, there was a missing quote, initial quote.
Sorry. Kosh starts to run for the doctor, but Kaim grabs his arm and basically she dropped. He leans him back, saying,
You'd better stay with her.
Ironically, Kaim, who can never truly know what it feels like to age, has been present for that very reason at countless deaths over the years. His experience tells him that Shushu will not recover this time.
I wonder if it's because she felt finally content that he came back.
It's used a lot in narrative. The
Shushu is lying on her
before
back
dying.
where she has fallen. Her armload of flowers now spread over her chest. Her face wears a smile.
Wait a minute, big brother Kaim. I'll make your wreath for you right away.
Her mind is still lingering among her memories of the past. Will she stay like this to the very end? Keep fighting, great-grandmother! Don't let go! Kosh clings to her hand, tearfully shouting encouragement, but she may not even realize that this is her own great-grandson. It's me, grandmother! It's me, Kosh! You haven't forgotten me, have you? I bathed you last night. You knew who I was then, didn't you? Kosh appeals to her with all his might, but Shushu, a girlish smile on her lips, is departing for that distant world. I'm going to be a father soon, great-grandmother. Remember? I told you last night. Cynthia has a baby inside. It's going to make you a great-great-grandmother. Our family is going to grow. Another person with your flesh and blood. Still smiling, Shushu grasps one of the flowers on her chest in her trembling fingers. She presses toward Kosh, and in a voice, no more than a whisper, she says,
Don't get me now, you hear?
Which is kind of sad, given that he apparently did forget her, but he's remembering now.
Kosh doesn't understand. Indeed, how could he know the little phrases she always used to speak long before he was born? Kaim puts his arm around Kosh's shoulder and says,
Answer her.
I know what you mean, great-grandmother. I won't forget you. I will absolutely never forget you. How could I forget my own great-grandmother?
Don't forget me now, you hear?
I won't forget you, great-grandmother. Believe me. I'll always remember you.
Don't forget me now, you hear?
Shushu closes her eyes and lays her hand on the flowers on her chest as if groping there for something. She seems almost to be trying to open the door where the memories are sealed. A soft breeze moves over her. The flowers adorning her chest dance in the wind along with the memories. Surely among those memories is the Kaim of 80 years ago. Kaim snatches at one of his petals dancing in the wind, enclosing it in the palm of his hand. Shushu will never open her eyes again. She has left on a journey to a world where there is no past or present. The only ones she has left behind are Kaim, who will go on living forever, and Kash, who is about to welcome a new life into the world. Clinging to her corpse, Kash raises his tear-stained face to look at Kaim. "Thank you so much," he says to Kaim, the traveler. "Thanks to you, my great-grandmother was so happy to be picking flowers at the very end."
No, it wasn't thanks to me.
Kaim says. He closes his fist on the petal in his hand and says to Kash,
I'm sure if she had made a wreath, she would have given it to your sweet new baby.
Kash shyly cocks his head and mutters, "I hope you're right." But then, smiling through his tears, he declares, "I'm sure you are." About that promise you made to her. Be good and don't forget. Sorry, that's you. I think that's you.
I think it's me, yeah. About that promise you made to her. Be good and don't forget her.
No, of course not.
People go on living as long as they remain in someone's memories.
With these words, Kaim begins to walk slowly away. Behind him, he hears Shushu's voice.
Don't forget me now, Big Brother Kaim.
And now she's gonna haunt him for the rest of his eternal life now.
You will go to the Dagobah system.
It is the voice of the little girl from 80 years ago, ringing ever clear, sweet and innocent, declaring farewell to the man who will travel life forever. The end.
Okay, this makes me wonder, can you get potential different endings based off of how many memories you remember? Because it seems like...
The story is completely scripted, the dreams are entirely optional. As for your actual question, Jova, remember, each of these dreams takes place in a completely different part of the huge chronology. So it would be very... I mean, they could have potentially have made sequel dreams. This technically is a sequel dream without a prequel, basically. But usually the method is that each dream takes place in a huge departure in time from all the other dreams, which is why...
Like, not even full sequels. I'm wondering if, like, you know, if, like, per se, they ever have intersecting details from one dream or another, seeing as how there are gaps in time in some of the dreams, which makes me wonder if, hey, maybe he was doing this while he was away from that town, or, you know, in between the gaps in there, like... But from what you told me, like, it's not like any dream mentions details from another dream, correct?
No. I get the feeling they wanted to make sure each dream was self-contained, because remember, on your first playthrough without a guide, you're probably not going to find all the dreams. In fact, you're probably not find most of them. So they want to make sure that whatever dream you find first, it's completely self-contained and doesn't need any preconceived knowledge.
Also,
That's fair.
Has any of you played What Remains of Edith Finch?
No.
Oh, I've heard of that game, but I never got around to playing
It's
it.
depressing as shit. It's basically someone reconstructing the history of their family tree and how most of them died very early on during tragic circumstances.
That being said,
it's very depressing.
That being said, Jova, now we're about to get what basically is a storyline that you typically would find in some of these dreams, but in real time. This time.
Interesting, in this land ruled by a figurehead who kind of got outplayed by her own governor.
Yeah, when the loading times take long, they start showing up bios of the characters.
Wow, that's an unusual color for a flower.
Whoa, no kidding. Girls like flowers. Hey, mind letting me have one? Ow!
Pick 'em!
Hey, you little brat. Next time, say that before you hit someone. You got that, kid?
Shut up, you old geezer.
Geezer!
Damn!
Did you plant these flowers? Nuh-uh. They're just flowers that grow around here. Mom says they're
These
really
kids
rare.
look like they would fit right into the world of Final Fantasy X with how they're dressed.
What he said.
The little girl is called Cook and the little boy is called Mac. I get the feeling Cook is voiced by Cav Saucy.
That one's a boy.
Mom feels sorry for him since they're so pretty.
Yeah, I guess listening now, he is a boy. I honestly thought they were both girls.
There are lots of people out there who would pick a flower if they...
They're clearly a throwback to Paolo and Porum from Fantasy IV.
Probably,
You're
yeah.
right. You know, if
That's
we
cute.
can hear, then they can make everyone happy. You're the only one who's ever said that. You must be a good person. Well, thank you. What's your name? I'm Cook, and this is my little brother Mac. Cook?
God, she
and
sounds like
Mac.
the
Gotcha.
twin
I'm Seth.
Rugrats.
I get the feeling it's
Phil
Cat
and Will.
Sussy.
Kaim?
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
and this reminds Kaim of something. There you go. So okay, Joba. So very good, Joba. Now we're going to get an answer as to who this little girl is.
They were blooming
Exactly.
back then.
These flowers were there too.
Back then? Back when?
So what did you remember, Kaim? What was it?
Uh-oh.
Check it out. It's those prisoners the Queen just released. Yes, this
Everybody
looks
point
suspicious.
and
What
laugh.
are you characters up
Do you
to?
mind? We're trying to have a flashback here.
Watch out for the flowers, please.
Flowers?
Sorry, Arif.
Hey,
At
if you want to
assault
fight, do it
patrols.
someplace else.
Hey,
Oh God, now I'm getting
Those are
7 vibes.
you know, the ones that'll make you happy.
Oh, I've heard good things about them.
Oh yeah, let's grind them up and cook them for some
If I go to these flowers, getting her in the
goosh.
sack would be a snap.
I am on the same wavelength with that guy. Hey, let me get some of that action.
Don't go, Jansen.
All right.
Hey, you can't have them.
What's with you, kid? Out of my way!
Cook, are you okay? Yeah.
Real mature there, picking on a kid.
Yep, that's Calf Susie. I'd recognize that voice from anywhere.
The Numaran military has the right to seize
Huh.
anything that grows on Numaran soil.
Did not know
including
Calf
those
Susie
flowers.
did video games.
Oh, she has done quite a few of them
I'm
actually.
pretty sure she's one of the champions of League of Legends because that game has literally every single major voice actor present.
Alright, she played Shock and Sally in Kingdom Hearts and also Sora's mother.
Yeah, Cat Sussy has
That
been
one
voice
line.
she has voice acting for so long at this point. I'm pretty sure she's been in every kind of media there is.
I don't think I've heard her use her Phil and Lil voice in quite a while.
Hey, check out the tough guy!
Jesus Christ, like you.
Whoa! Oh. Okay.
And now you've got no horse.
What the hell's got him so worked up?
Hey, we could use this kid as the official flower guard. We've got quite a crew of strangers and brats here, eh?
Why don't all of you get lost? You're mucking up Numara.
Get your hands up him! You idiots are the ones who should get lost. Your breath is so bad, it wilts the flowers! Cook.
Oh, not bad. I like that. Good choice of words. Very nice. Good. Loved it.
Hey, you little brat! That's not how you address a Numaran soldier. Just because you're a kid doesn't mean you can get away with stuff like that.
Behead the kid.
All right, let's teach these
Alright,
soldiers a
time
lesson.
for battle. Huh. For a moment, I thought those 2 kids were gonna become party members as well.
I wonder how long your
Now
soul will
they
last.
vanished.
Remember this, we're in the battle arena now, so. Unlike with Twelly, we don't have an in-lore justification why we get teleported to a different place when we battle, so.
Yeah, Cassius has been in a lot. I guess it's just I don't always recognize her voice because she's most recognizable with the Phil and Lil voice.
I'm particularly very familiar with her from being
right, she was,
Sorry.
right, she was the original voice of Lola Bunny.
I
She does have some range.
I grew up in the mid-90s, so I grew up with her playing Mom in Common Chicken, as well as Dexter's mom. In fact, she played a lot of moms in that particular
Didn't they
time
get
period.
Portuguese dubs?
No, Dwebs, it took a long time for Cartoon Network to open up a Portuguese division.
Let's see, I was born and sort of raised for the 90s. I definitely most remember her as Phil and Lil Rugrats, essentially.
And even then, Dwebs, at this point, I'm so used to the original English voices that at this point, I don't even... it just feels weird to hear a Portuguese dub at this point, because the voices in those cartoons in English are so iconic at this point. Not to mention, who can even possibly dub over Charlie Adler, anyway, so...
Charlie Adler. Love that voice actor.
We want to thank you somehow. Right, Mac? How about we bring him home? Home? Yeah, we don't have much, but we'd love it if you came to our house.
That sounds really fun. What's the plan, Kaim?
Let's keep moving.
Oh, come on. It'll be fine to rest for just a little bit, won't it?
Yeah, Kaim, what's a day or a week, month? Come on.
Please?
Come on, Kaim, how can you say no to those eyes?
Well, that settles it.
Why are you in such a rush? You have nothing but time, Kaim.
That is true.
He rhymed. So who's voicing Cook and Mac?
I'll have Dwebs be Cook, and I guess you can be Mac.
To get to our house, take this path straight down until you see the ocean. Then turn left there. Our house is the one with the blue door. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye.
These two children. Again, why do I get the feeling that fate has just made it destined for us to meet?
Well, Jova, Kaim has gone through so many chance encounters in over the course of his life. At this point, what's one more?
I honestly was surprised that the two kids weren't made playable for that fight, but then again, if they're not going to be player characters, I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't make assets just for them.
In fact, the scene we're about to get is even better and has even more emotional impact if we've gone through all the dreams like I have, because now we have a shit ton of backstory on Kaim. You'll see exactly what I mean when we get to it.
Calling in now, those flowers are going to be important for later, aren't they?
Well, the flowers are already technically important. It reminded Kaim of a detail that he's forgotten about that little girl's death, whoever it is. Whoever she is, sorry.
MacGuffin important. They'll be needed to, fashion a cure or heal someone later on.
Maybe.
Alright, let's see.
Alright. Cook and Mac's house. But first, there's actually a book here that I want to read first. The medicine you ordered is in this package. However, I must remind you that this is meant as a pain reliever, not as a treatment for the disease itself. Okay. I know you are not prone to fits of despair, so I will be blunt. With your illness at such an advanced stage, treatment with conventional medicine will be difficult. I sincerely recommend you visit a doctor at least once.
Either one of the kids is sick or one of their parents is sick. Actually, where are their parents?
If you ask Her Majesty, I'm sure she will procure a talented sorcerer to suit your interest. Please take advantage of it. You must think about your children. Furthermore, I have my doubts that living in Ghost Town is the best thing for your health right now. I heard that you're keeping up the house after your husband's death, but you must consider the needs of the living first. Do you have any family you can call upon? I hope you can have the treatment you need. Best regards. So the mom.
I think
the
parents are dead, aren't they?
Well, the father is, but supposedly this should be about the mom. There you go.
Mom, we're home. Mom, we brought some guests.
Is she sick?
This is just in case you haven't read the book, basically.
Good afternoon.
Hey there.
These people are from Uhra. They protected the tender flora from these stupid soldiers, didn't they?
The flowers.
What's wrong, Mom?
Oh, snap. Is she his daughter?
They let me see you one more time.
Turns out she survived.
I'll admit, I thought we weren't going to find his long-lost daughter until near the end of the plot, so color me Surprised that it happened this early.
Father?
What?
Father?
Liram. Is that...
Kids, this is your grandfather. What a perfect time for a family reunion. Especially since it looks like she's about to die. What the?
Remember,
All the memories of loved ones.
Gongora's spell on him is starting to basically, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine all those memories flooding.
So there you go. So here's what actually happened. I wonder who that guy is.
Oh God, Gongora!
Trova, you're so judgmental. It could be anyone.
Yeah, true. Maybe it's his evil twin brother.
Okay, if this is the punishment for failing to do her homework, this is a bit extreme.
Hey kids, if you don't do your homework, you get thrown off a cliff.
Holy
That sounds like something that would happen in the Mishima family.
And you'll notice that Kaim, at this point, Kaim also had someone with him. So, okay.
So I'm guessing that guy who looks like Gongora cast a spell on her to make her do that. That said, thank goodness she did survive.
Yeah, you had a crushing my hand.
Kaim, your memories.
What is it? Why are you looking at me?
Gongora. Gongora was there.
Oh, I thought the plot twist was going to be the stupid. What's the name of the guy? The comic relief.
Jensen.
I thought the twist was going to be Jansen was actually Gongora. He was just acting stupid the whole time.
But that would mean that Gongora was talking to himself during that one
Couldn't
scene.
save you myself.
Yeah, I've heard weirder twists.
Is Mom?
Like Jansen is Gongora for the past.
I haven't seen her since.
Yeah.
Sarah. I have to find her. She doesn't even know you're alive.
About that.
Have much time. Cook. Mac. Come here. Listen. Both
At least in our final moments, these generations of the family can be together.
He's my father. I know he looks very young, but he is your grandfather.
He had a lot of surgery done.
He aged gracefully.
So much about your dear treasures. I've been able to hold on this long because you've been here. Mom? Father, take care of them. Please.
Of course.
Father, there's something I've always wanted to tell you.
I was the one that stole those cookies.
I know, Liram. I know.
She said I love you, didn't she?
Liram!
Shelley Callahan voiced
Liram. Yep.
I could see you once more.
Extremely sad, but probably, sadly, the best outcome they could have hoped for short of her surviving.
It's also that's good because this is the first time again, it's kind of like the end of Lost Future, in where we see Layton for the first time being genuinely, losing his composure. And this is the first time we see Kaim lose his composure, which is not something we typically see.
Mm-hmm. So the whole no thing, that was a bit weird, but...
It's interesting how all this happens in this sequence. Again, could be a coincidence, but it honestly feels like everything happens for a reason in this plot.
As we've seen in the dreams, Jova, it wouldn't be the first time Kaim coincidentally finds someone from his past again. So.
And just at the right time, too.
Meanwhile, in Uhra, Tolten, the prince, is...
we're playing as the prince now.
Yeah. Surprisingly, right? Alright, let's see.
This is his first mission, find an umbrella.
Before the armor gets a bit rusty.
I assume he was just out there when it started raining otherwise.
If only I had a fraction of your strength. There was still so much I needed to learn from you. I depended on your guidance even when you scolded me for my weakness.
Chad Brannon is his voice.
Behind you, dude.
Yeah, well, this...
Tolten, as you have seen also from the previous cutscene, Tolten is slightly complex. He may appear just a bit of a brat with no real spine, but in reality, his leader is someone who goes thrown into this position and doesn't know really what to do.
Mm-hmm. It's the typical position of what sadly can happen in royalty. A child is being prepared for it, but the current ruler dies suddenly, and well, that child is suddenly thrown in essentially a boat without a paddle.
So yeah, Tolten is being attacked by weird zombie creatures. We'll find out exactly.
That resemble very suspiciously the thing that Gongora was trying to summon previously, but just a coincidence, probably.
Nah, that's just a coincidence. Now who's the one that's preemptively judging? What makes you think? What makes you think that Gongora had anything to do with this? You only had everything to do with everything bad that has ever happened in this game up until this point. And
he looks such a nice guy during the election.
No. Don't you see, guys? He was actually trying to save Lyrium from going off that cliff, because clearly Lyrium wanted to jump, but he was there, but he couldn't stop her, so he vanished.
He was like, no, Lyrium, no. Oh, well, I tried.
Calling it now, Tolten's also going to become a member of the party.
Well, he already has battle animation, so it's...
Well, keep in mind, it could be like a temporary character like Beatrice in 9.
You were watching.
Is this what the Rock's gonna look like in 40 years?
Well, I didn't
Maybe.
expect a frail puppet like that to best someone of your blood. I sent it simply to test you.
Although I can't imagine the Rock putting on this accent.
What? That puppet was one of your pawns? Why would you do something like that to me?
Because I do not wish to see the throne restored.
So I tested you by trying to kill you.
Wait,
hold on, you'll see.
Was the poison soup you're doing? Chairman, answer me!
Something's not right.
And he exploded. Oh, no,
No, it's the transition animation.
All right.
To the hands of an incompetent ruler.
Something doesn't seem right. Oh, you can inquire during battle. Okay.
I cannot give Uhra to an incompetent ruler. Insert Donald Trump joke here. Why not?
Okay. Something's not right here. For the guy to just come out and confess his plans with puppets that seemed a little too weak. Granted, I know he doesn't think too highly of Tolten.
Jova, we're in a situation where both of them are catching pneumonia. Stop using 100% logic.
But don't you see, Tim? It's dramatic because.
I'm sure it is, but you know what is also dramatic? Dying from pneumonia, like the girl in the previous cutscene did.
You must die now.
I do like how this game also has in-game dialogue, like it's not your typical in-game dialogue, in-battle dialogue. It's full-blown cutscenes like these, like just to make the battles even more cinematic.
I do dig the idea that he really doesn't want to attack him, hence the Inquire moments.
This is supposed to be a sort of a throwback to the Disc 1 final boss of Final Fantasy 9, sorta.
So, I'm wondering, are we that close to, like, the first third of this game being over?
We're not far from the end of Disc 1, if that's what... and it's 4 discs. So this game is very long.
Well, keep in mind, most of the open optional stuff is right at the very end, a bit like Xenogears.
Again, I ask if we're that far into the game because, again, I'm legit surprised that they revealed relatively early into the plot the truth about Kaim's daughter and all that. Like, that felt like something that, you know, going by Square Enix standards, it's usually something you learn near, like, the last quarter.
There's more stuff,
obviously. Oh, look, guys, Gongora is getting to the rescue.
No, don't worry, Gongora will save us. I'm sure we can trust him.
Sure.
Oh?
He's dead? I had no choice. The chairman was trying to kill me.
What have you done?
I know. I know everything. All right, let's deal with this calmly, Your Majesty. Please, don't panic.
I mean, all I did was mind control. I mean, all I did was try and rush to your aid, my liege.
He spoke enthusiastically of his plans to prevent the restoration of the throne.
Oh, he confided in you, the guy who we put on house arrest?
Sure.
The first thing that had to be done was to ensure Your Highness's
Don't you see, him putting him on house arrest was just part of a complicated plan to make it so that he could convince Gongora.
He's in peril, and even though he's in arrest, he escaped his incarceration and came as soon as he could.
What a gentle soul.
How nice of you.
I would never have expected the chairman to try to kill you.
Wow.
As deluded as he was.
Gongora.
Chairman Roxian died in an accident.
Ah, we're gonna cover this up, of course.
You always come when I'm in danger.
Of course he
You are
does.
the only one I can rely upon.
Oh, okay. Tolten sheltered, so I guess to be fair, from his perspective and given what just happened, I can get
Again, Tolten has a lot of things going on. Kids got issues, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let us go now. I will handle everything. Your Highness will not be suspected.
Right. Wow. All in all, a productive day, eh?
Hold on. Wait for it. Aha! Of course.
He was made out of chocolate.
But that means what happened?
The chairman.
What happened to the actual chairman?
That wasn't the real chairman. It was another puppet by Gongora to fool Tolten. And here's what happened to the real chairman. So let's dial back to the past a bit. See what happened to the real chancellor, or chairman, I should say. Nah, I'm sure there's nothing.
Must have been the wind.
Oh
no.
You see how snake-like I can be. Seriously.
Oh my god, Gongora's literally Jafar.
When Gongora murders someone, he doesn't play around, does he? A giant fucking snake.
Yeah, I mean, this guy isn't the god. He can just turn into a snake and do it like that. Strike fear into those who live to tell the tale.
So there you go. He killed him and created a puppet to take his place.
I was going to eat him.
Well,
Well-
that's what he did with, because that way there wasn't even a body to dispose of.
Wow! He literally is Jafar. He turned into a giant snake and ate him.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Wait, now that makes me wonder, could Gongora possibly accidentally throw up part of the Chancellor? Or, like, when he turns back into a human,
Don't
does,
think
like...
about it, Trova. Fucking idiot.
That was probably also poisoned.
What should I do?
Everything is poison.
I've killed.
Run away, Simba.
I've killed a man.
Run away and never return.
Actually, instead of running away, stay and restore the monarchy.
Kill him.
Due to unfortunate circumstances.
Yes, that snake. I mean, you accidentally killed him.
Sudden illness.
Ah, yes, a sudden illness. Right.
Pneumonia. He was out in the rain. It's genius.
Of course.
CTL, there was a purpose to that rain.
Of course.
Yeah, he died. He really should have brought an umbrella with him.
Ella, AA.
Our nation was both the chairman and your highness.
I know, honestly, I don't know what would kill him more, the rain or that song.
Not a fan?
No, I'm not.
Of our weakness.
Got a lot of radio play back in the day.
Goats of wood.
Remember.
So yeah, Gongora's reasoning is that if something is not done, the warring rival nation might take advantage, which, to be fair, it is true.
He is actually right about that, given what's going on back where Kaim and company are.
Your highness must do, and that is to protect Uhra.
Me?
I'm sure Gongora has nothing but
the best intentions. Absolutely. Of course, look at him.
I mean, look, he only turns into a snake. All heroes do that.
It is true.
The very representative of the being that got humanity cast out of the Garden of Eden can only be a good thing.
If it weren't for you, Gongora.
Okay, I'm willing to give Sakaguchi the benefit of a doubt that he's at least in on the bit.
Oh, he is. Jova, practically every time Gongora does something, we have a wink shot at the audience.
Keep in mind, Jova, while not, as cookie crazy as him, this is not too different to what Final Fantasy VI does to Kefka. They introduce him very, very early and waste no time in saying, yeah, this is the bad guy.
Good point.
And yeah, that's what happened with Kaim.
There you go.
Of your fealty.
Godfather.
Yeah, basically.
I was going to cut off his finger saying, this finger is my loyalty to you, or something.
I hate
that was
again,
one of the weirdest wet dreams.
Kaim is going also through his own issues right now.
Let's see, his life up to this point has kind of been a lie. He's rediscovered his daughter and found out he has grandkids.
But then his daughter died.
You know what that means, right, Jova?
Must be up to something.
2 more kids to die in his arms eventually.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say 2 more party members, but yeah, shoot, those kids, if they die in his arms.
Well, they will eventually because he doesn't. So, they will eventually.
In that case, the best way to cope is to hope and pray that his family keeps having children.
But remember, this is Kaim after that dream we saw last part, so he doesn't reject them. He accepts human weakness now.
This is basically a turning point for his character. He basically stops being cold and emotionless.
The other one is me.
I will say, while it's not required, it isn't.
Also, for his revelation, the Queen is also immortal.
Yep.
We only got a glimpse of her face.
Well, how about that?
I'm going to look for Sarah.
And yeah, he's gonna look for Sarah. Sarah is our 4th and final immortal. Which, yeah, at least Kaim has a perfect potential wife, since she's also immortal, so maybe try to get back with her.
I'm guessing it makes sense that she'd be the one he fell in love with if they were both immortal, given how you know.
Even though, as it showcased, their offspring still are not immortal.
Yeah, that is a shame. Unless Lyrilum was an immortal,
there is an explanation to it, but you will have to wait.
It'd be interesting if it skips a generation and the kids are immortals.
It was hope. If he won't die, I'll bury Gongora in so much pain he'll wish he was.
I am gonna kill Gongora!
Oh come on! Oh come on, Kaim! Why would you want to kill Gongora? What is he? What bad things has he ever done?
Wow.
Kaim, if the send-off tomorrow is too hard for you to bear.
No, I'll see Lyram off. It's my duty as her father.
Wait, I don't know how she wants to be laid to rest. Cremation, burial.
Actually, we're about to cover that, Liz.
You must be misled.
Teo, you can be this guy. Go ahead.
It's voiced.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I think there's gonna be some non-voiced lines later, though.
I'm here to assist in sending Miss Lyram off.
By boat?
Where's Mom going?
She will return to Mother Ocean, who brought us to this land long ago.
Once again, Sakaguchi really seems to not have let go of the death of his mother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand the guy, but damn.
He has a tendency to have mothers die in his stories.
As mother and son will always be connected.
It's like having cats die because of that one cat he wanted to adopt dying in the road. So.
It's also kind of sad of the reason why Disney movies had a weird tradition of parents dying because of what happened with Walt's own mother.
To give Miss Lyram a proper farewell.
So yeah, believe it or not, Jova, this entire next week sequence, which is gonna take a while, but probably starting in the next part, is entirely dedicated to the send-off.
Mm-hmm.
So the game is actually taking its time to have you digest this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes sense given how we did kind of get hit with a megaton of information. Again, I'm just legit surprised that they had the reveal of Lyrium being his mother this early into the plot. Like, usually with Sakaguchi plots, I feel like, the big revelations usually come to a point sort of closer to the end rather than the beginning.
I do wonder also if it's possible that Sakaguchi wanted to try something slightly different than what happened in Final Fantasy VII, because due to the circumstances of the plot, the party never really had much of a chance to grieve Aerith that much up until slightly a bit in Disc 2 when they have to search for the white materia, but otherwise they did not really have a lot of time to mourn. So maybe instead he wanted to write something different where the party has an occasion to actually mourn the loss of someone.
It's possible.
And I have been getting some 7 vibes, right down to the bit where Cook is against them trampling on the flowers, which gave me massive Aerith in the Church vibes. And shoot, now I do wonder if Sakaguchi was being cheeky with that stuff. But that being said, I would not be surprised if the kids are made playable party members, as well as, well, I think Pedro already mentioned that Sarah will become a playable member. At the very least, she's
Cook and Mac become your mortals number 2 and number 3. No, this doesn't spoil anything. I can say it just fine. At this point, it's kind of obvious. I mean, if they're gonna join, if they're gonna join Kaim in his travels, might as well.
That's also why, as an army as it looked at waves, Cook screaming having an effect is intentional, because that's actually one of his abilities in gameplay.
Something he inherited from the immortal line?
Well, no, they're just talented towards magic
It's okay, I can say this. Basically, Jova, as we've hinted at in the beginning of the game, the immortality of these characters came from a spell from Gongora. So this thing is not a natural thing in their bodies that can be carried over genetically, so...
That implies that Gongora must have been around to have given them the spell in the first place, which
again,
he's an
it
immortal.
will be explained later, so you'll see, Jova.
Sure. Either way, the plot thickens.
It also serves to add one more thing to what Teo said. It also says, Jova, that this is the moment that spurs Kaim into act, because up until this point he's been going for the story apathetically, just kind of rolling with the punches and not really, but now he has his proper set goal for the rest of the game: kill Gongora for revenge, basically.
All right.
See you, everybody.
Yeah.
But